So let's have a very quick review of what we have discussed so far in portfolio optimization. We're not going to run everything here kasi na-run na natin siya dati. What I'm interested in is we run those chunk of codes that we will be using for yung review ng optimization kasi there was a request na ulitin ko yung optimization kasi medyo hindi mabilis yata yung pag-discuss ko. So let's do that. First, kindly run the tickers, yung object na to. So we're creating this objects, Apple, Google. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stocks. So I'm going to run this. Okay, for some reason guys, ang tagal niya ang tagal mag-run nitong ko dito sa script window, okay? So, okay, meron na tayong tickers. Let me check. So, kindly follow along guys, no? So, nasa row 56 ako. I-run natin yung tickers na object in case you haven't run it. Okay, so ito yung tickers natin. So it's just a list lang siya ng mga pangalan. Kasi if I check the class of tickers, so it will just be a characters lang siya, no? Apple, etc. Ba't ang tagal mag-run ito? Okay, are you able to follow guys? Naran nyo na ba itong yung tumatagal minsan? Kanina pa itong nag-hang yung R. Okay, then while I'm waiting for that to run, let's go to 203 because we need to get the stocks, these stocks. Okay, we're going to use quant mode in order to download these stock prices. So 203, not there. Okay. So minsan pag may naka-pending pa na problema ko pag naka-pending yung code niyan tapos pag i-run ko to, lalong okay. Anyway, so get symbols, tickers. So yung mga stocks natin, we gave it a name, tickers, yung sham. And then we're going to download yung the whole of 2017 hanggang the whole of 2021. Okay, run this. Ayaw niya mag-run kasi may naka-pending pa dito. Okay. Okay na yan. So nag-run na si get symbols. Okay, and when we run this, guys, you'll notice that there will be now objects here. Yung mga natin, yung mga assets na dinownload. Yan, si Apple, si Amazon, si Facebook. Hello? Okay, so Na-download na natin. Okay, welcome, Santi. Sino pa yung dumating? Si Santi lang. Okay, Santi, we're reviewing the model that we did before. May request kasi na review ko ng konti yung ano. So we run first row 52, yung tickers para makahabol ka. 52 ba? And 56 pala, 56. Yung tickers na yung we created this object called tickers. This one. Okay, and then we're going to use that, we use that name. So row 202 to get the prices. Okay, here. And so get symbols, which stocks yung nasa tickers na natin na list. Okay. So we will now have here FB, Google, GSPC. These are stock prices, daily stock prices from December 31, 2016 up to December 31, 2021, 17, 18, 19, 20. 5-year daily prices. Okay. Right. Then, okay, then we're going to create kasi individual ano to, no? Individual prices. So si FB may individual ano siya. Let's see FB. It's an individual XTS object, and it contains I'm viewing Facebook. Tagal niya mag-run. There, no? So si FB, now what we want to do is to collect yung mga adjusted prices. We're going to use adjusted prices. Collect the adjusted prices and i-install muna natin yung QMAU. Okay, nasa ano siya, nasa okay, dito na lang guys, library nyo sa console library. If you recall yung QMAU, yung dinownload natin, yung install natin dati. There, okay? I won't do it anymore kasi na ano ko na siya na require. So for you, kindly do that kasi we're going to use the QMAU add-in siya ng sa quant mode. It's an add-in and it's very useful to collect the prices, no? To collect the prices and also to do the returns. So dito tayo. Okay. So after loading QMAU, guys, we can use the make price frame function or PF to, no? Shortcut is PF here. PF. Okay, so anong ginagawa natin dito? Kino-collect natin yung mga objects na to. Make price frame. Okay. And then what we're going to collect is only the adjusted prices. So this is a good way to collect from different objects a particular column. Pwede nating close lang, no? Here we're collecting adjusted. Okay, so kindly run that, guys. I won't run it anymore kasi na-run ko na siya. Okay, and then when you view that, when you open the PF object, then we will have now the prices of Apple, Google, hanggang Standard & Poor's. Ito na yung mga adjusted prices. Okay, so we did that last time. And sabi natin Yung full name is make price frame, okay? But the shortcut is PF. And this is coming from the quant mode, yung QMAU na package, which is the quant mode siya na add-in. Add-in siya na library. Okay. And then we can also get the RF. No? So sa RF, we can run this, yung make return frame. This time, ang ibibigay sa atin yung mga returns. No? So we're using, once again, from the different objects, from the different XTS objects. Okay. In fact, pwede na natin hindi i-run si PF, no, yung price frame. If we just want the return frame, an XTS object that has the returns of the different stock prices. Okay, again, ito, parang get symbols din siya, pero ito diretso. In fact, guys, we can dispense with the get symbols function. Pwede nang diretso to, no? Diretso na, kasi identify natin yung date, okay, and then adjusted, and then continuous returns. Okay, so this will get the continuous returns. All right. So kindly run that. So when we run that, you'll have now the return frame. So mga returns na to, no, continuous returns of the 9 stocks. And then tanggalin natin yung yung first column niya kasi may NA diyan. Kasi when you get the returns from prices, may isang row diyan na magiging NA. So run this RF i-subset natin, tanggalin natin yung first row kasi may NA siya. Okay, and then you can check yung RF. Okay, so these are now returns, no? Returns na siya ng ng assets natin. Okay, so once again, let's be reminded of our objective. Ang gusto natin, makapag-create tayo ng portfolio. Mamaya guys, pupunta muna tayo sa Excel because I want us to see how we can create the efficient frontier in Excel, tapos i-compare natin sa R. Okay, so we're done here. Okay, so punta na tayo sa mag-o-optimize sa tayo guys, no? Okay. So magko-compute tayo ng portfolio returns. Okay, here we're creating an object called port1 and it's coming from your return frame object, and we're subsetting only 1 and 2. Ano ba yung laman ng RF? Okay, so sabi dun sa code natin, RF, and then we're subsetting it all the rows and only the first 2 columns. So first 2 columns lang. So we're creating a portfolio only of Apple and Google. Okay, of course, if you want another portfolio of other assets, pwede rin yan, no? Kunyari, Apple with Tesla. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be concatenate natin C and then 1 and 8. Okay, if you want Apple with Tesla ba yun? Okay. Alright, so let me just, okay, so let's not change this. Okay, so kindly run that guys. So dapat meron na kayong port 1, no? So itong port 1 na to, these are just the returns of Apple and Google. Port 1, okay. So Apple and Google na lang, sinubset natin yung galing sa RF object natin there. Okay, it's also an XTS. XTS ano siya? Extensible time series. Kasi yung time natin, yung date nasa index. Alright. So let's create a portfolio. Gagamitin natin si Portfolio Analytics. Kasi si Portfolio wait. So meron tayong yung port 1 natin is it's an XTS object consisting of the returns, the log returns, daily log returns ng ano natin, ng Apple and Google. If we're going to create a portfolio, this portfolio, Apple and Google, so we need to compute for the returns, returns of this portfolio, Apple and Google. So how do you compute this? It's just guys, the average of your average of your returns multiplied by 50 each. 50-50. So that's just like the average, no? Okay, sige, kunin natin to. Port 1 ret. So kindly run that. Rinan ko na siya, no? I will not risk, guys, of running it again kasi minsan nagkakaproblema yung R ko ngayon. No? So what does, ano yung port 1, ano laman ng port 1? So it's a accumulation, no, of, kasi ito yung returns ng Apple at saka ng Google, and then 50-50 yan. So you multiply this by 50 and 50, so you get the returns for this particular day. Okay, so daily to, no? Okay, so ito we just change the name kasi port 100 dito, portfolio returns. So we just use the column names ng object na port 100 and then we replace it by portfolio 50-50 returns. Run ko nga yan. Okay, and then if I look at my port 100, okay, yung naiba na yung pangalan niya, no? Bawasan ko lang yung mga objects dito. Okay guys, clear so far? Are you able to follow? Chat naman please kung okay so far. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, konting review to, no? Okay, now, ito guys, ang assumption nito, itong mga returns na to, itong port 100 na to, ang assumption nito is that 50-50 all throughout. In other words, hindi tayo nagre-rebalancing. Okay, and I gave you some material, basic material lang to on the importance of rebalancing. You may wish to, this is from Investopedia to. So simple lang yung explanation ni Investopedia about rebalancing. Pero guys, very important yung rebalancing as far as maintaining your portfolio, as far as maintaining your portfolio is concerned. Okay, so let's take a look at. Okay, so we're creating now an object. Let's call it port 1 ret, and then ina-fix lang natin yung rebalance. Okay, so pareho din, return that portfolio, port 1, then pareho din yung ano yung weights 50-50. However, ilalagay natin dito rebalance on months. So mangyayari niyan after 1 month, okay? After 1 month, ibabago niya yung weight, i-adjust. Okay, i-adjust yung weight so that ma-optimize yung performance ng portfolio natin. Okay, so let's run this. Hindi ko pa siya na-run. Let's run this. Yan. Okay. May I ask guys, kasi FINANLY to, no? So really the focus here is on financial concepts na ano natin, minomodel tapos ina-analyze. May subject na ba kayo na nag-modeling kayo ng GARCH? Have you had any subject na nag-model kayo ng GARCH or you model the volatility of the returns of the asset? Meron na ba guys? As far as the four of you are concerned, wala pa. Okay, so kasi ang bala ko talaga, yung susunod natin, kasi nag-time series sa tayo dati, no? So hindi lang natin natuloy yung different types of GARCH where GARCH is used for modeling volatility. Tapos mag-ano tayo, mag-vector autoregression. Okay, some very important models, other models used in finance. So the last, last few sessions. And then I might be asking for a special session is to cover other materials. Okay, so ito na guys, no? So if you compare si portrait rebalancing, pareho lang siya dito kay port 100, 7.683, 7.042. So, okay? So pareho lang siya, pero after 1 month ito, let's see. So January yan, pagdating ng February 1, ito 2.93, no? Control C, copy ko lang. 2.9377. Pero dito sa port port 100 siya, no? Dito sa portrait rebalancing, pagdating ng after 1 month, so February 1 yun, okay, take a look at the Control C. Okay. Okay, so mas mababa yung mas mababa yung for that specific month. Okay, mas mababa yung returns niya kasi nag-rebalancing sa dito. Pero if you compare yung March 31, yung January 31, 4.58 dito portrait, January 31, okay, 4.58, pareho pa rin, no? So magre-rebalance tong sa after each month, okay? After each month. Okay, so what we did last time, very quick review guys. So nag-create tayo ng annual table. Okay, kino-compare natin yung performance ni port 100 at saka ni port 1 rebalancing. So here we created an object called all port 1. Okay, you may name it however. In-all ko lang guys, port 1 returns. Okay, and then we're going to create an annualized returns kasi daily returns yun, ano? So i-annualize na ni R, tapos isasama na rin niya yung guys, yung annualized Sharpe ratio. Okay? So ang Sharpe ratio natin is 0.1, no? We are assuming that it's 0.1, 10%, that's annual, so divide by 252 in order to make it daily. Okay? Kailangan yan, ito yung gagamitin niya sa daily na returns, and then i-convert niya into annual. Okay? So this is the result guys if you run this. Do you recall guys kung ano yung Sharpe ratio? Ano ba yung Sharpe ratio? Di ba natutunan niya sa ibang subjects? Siguro sa investment analysis. One of the very popular measures of stock or portfolio performance. Okay, so while we're waiting, so sabi natin, yung object na all portrait, okay, gawin niya yung names nun, non-rebalance, which is for port 100, returns. Tapos monthly rebalance, which is for the rebalanced. So it's taking some time to compute. Okay, and then we can use the charts.performance summary, okay, and then plot yung dalawang yan, all portrait one. I will not run, kasi minsan pag I accidentally, kunyari while one is running, tapos nag-accidentally nag-run naman ako, lalong tumatagal guys. Tapos minsan napepending na yung iba. Okay, annualized return, yung non-rebalance natin, 32.87%. Si monthly rebalance, 33.26. So you notice, mas maganda talaga yung performance kapag nare-rebalance. Whether it's monthly or weekly, masyado naman guys. No? Kasi mahal yung mag-rebalancing. Kasi it will entail buying and selling again. So, syempre may mga cost implications yan. May transaction cost, merong tax, no? So, tapos yung standard deviation, notice guys, yung risk ng monthly rebalance, it's really lower, no? Than yung yung 50% all throughout lang yung portfolio natin. Okay? Also based on annualized Sharpe ratio. Annualized Sharpe ratio guys, yung annual rate is 10%. This is ang Sharpe ratio is the excess returns natin, which means yung average returns minus the risk-free rate, okay, divided by the standard deviation. So this is risk-adjusted na returns. Okay, so it's the returns per unit risk. So pareho silang risk. Okay, and then ang return nitong rebalance is 78%. Sharpe ratio pala. Tapos ito naman 75. So on all counts guys, mas maganda yung yung na-rebalance siya, no? Okay. Then i-plot natin to. Okay. Okay, pero back. Okay. So hindi masyadong kita, ano? Pero you can see here the difference. Hindi natin nalagyan ng label, but it's apparent guys na syempre kung sino yung mas mataas yung yung returns. Okay. Ito no. Yung red dito, yan, yung monthly rebalance. So you can see here guys that yung rebalance natin there are some points in time kasi cumulative returns to, no? So you're adding the returns, no? Na mas mataas si non-rebalance, but towards the end guys mas mataas talaga si rebalanced. Okay. Close that. Okay. Naman, naghahang na naman. Alright, so ito na guys yung pinaka-importanting topic natin, no? Yung optimization na, kasi ang ginawa natin, we just assume that it's 50-50, no? Now, in portfolio optimization, we would like to determine ano ba yung magandang mixture, yung weights ng assets natin in order to generate either maximum returns or minimum risk. Okay? Now, so may process tayong gagawin dyan kasi optimization to, no? Tapos na ba kayo ng DSI MGTS? Do you have a subject yung DSI MGTS, Management Science? Chat na please. Okay, last year. So ano naaalala niyo doon? Definitely, nag-solver kayo doon, ano? Nag-solver kayo, nag-optimization kayo, either maximization. Yes, okay. So mamaya tingnan ulit natin yung solver, ha? But this time, in the light of portfolio optimization. Kasi ginagamit din yung solver na yan for portfolio optimization. Okay, so we'll have, ang gagawin natin, we'll create an efficient frontier. Okay, ipa-plot natin kasi yung ano nyo, take home group quiz, you'll also be required to do that. So come up with a minimum mean mean var portfolio, and MEAN var portfolio. Yung MEAN, that's portfolio maximizing returns, no? Okay, and then you have to plug the efficient frontier in R. Okay, but I'm going to show you how it will look like in Excel. But first, so make sure na na-install nyo na yung portfolio analytics, no? So iba yung performance analytics, iba din yung portfolio analytics. Yung tatlong to, yung quant mode, yung TTR, yung portfolio analytics, yung performance analytics, these are a must, no? A must for students or for practitioners even looking into investments. Okay. Right? So babalikan natin guys yung port 1 ano natin. Ano yung port 1 object natin? So yung port 1 object natin, di ba, ito yung Apple at saka Google. And these are your log returns. Okay? So we're going to use that. We're going to use that. And sa portfolio analytics, guys, yung steps na ginamit ko dati sa DSI MGTS, yung sa Excel solver, yung nagde-define kayo ng objective, nagde-define kayo ng constraints. Okay? Ginagamit din dito yun sa ano. So ganung pattern, pero medyo magkaiba lang. No? Okay, so first we'll create an object, yung spec natin, yung portfolio specifications. So dito, let's go down here. Okay, so here I'm creating an object called port spec 1. Okay, so i-identify natin na yung assets natin is equal to the column names of port 1. Ano yung port 1, guys? Ito yung Apple at saka Google. So titingnan niya yung column names ni port 1, it's Apple and Google. So that will be our assets, Apple and Google. Okay, if you run this, all right. So ito, no? Okay, number of assets 2. Ang asset names natin, Apple and Google. So if I view, guys, port spec, port underscore spec 1 pala. What is this object? So quick review lang, guys, kasi okay lang naman na maulit to kasi may mga nagre-request kung pwedeng kasi medyo parang mabilis yata yung discussion natin. So port spec 1, okay, it's a list. It's a list consisting of these items. So yung assets, okay? Tapos ito yung formula natin, yung formula port spec assets is equal to that. So yung iba wala pang laman kasi hindi pa natin nalalagyan. Okay? Assets pa lang, if I click this, yung assets natin dalawa, no? Si Apple at saka si Google. Okay? May value siya na 50-50% yung weight niya. Okay? Wala pang weight sequence, wala pang constraints, wala pang objectives. So we need to fill up the constraints and the objectives in order to run this, similar to your decision science. Okay. So lalagyan natin ng constraints. Sabi natin last time na ang constraints natin pwedeng full investment, pwedeng weight sum, pwedeng box, pwedeng long only. Ano yung mga difference nila? Full investment, guys, dapat yung weight sum ng mga weights should be equal to 100%. Okay? Now, sometimes when we impose that, nagkaka-error sa sa weights, no? So that's why pwede natin i-relax siya na usually itong ginagawa na yung weight sum should be between 0.99 and 1.1. In other words, parang plus minus 10%, no? Okay, in order to relax this constraint na strict equality na 100%. Okay, and then box, pwede natin ilagay kung ano yung minimum and maximum ng weights. Okay? Kasi, kunyari, gusto natin maximization ng returns. Pag hindi tayo maglalagay ng constraint na box diyan, ang mangyayari, ilo-load na lahat dun sa highest earning na assets. So, wala nang saysay yung yung portfolio. So, oftentimes pwede tayo maglagay kunyari ng dapat yung mga assets dapat at least 10% sila ng total investment. Okay, so that's for the box only. Okay, itong long only guys, so sinasabi niya na ang asset weights natin, yung mga weights hindi pa pwede maging negative, positive lang. Okay? So ibig sabihin, we're not allowing the short position. Okay, ano ba yung short position? Uutangin mo yung asset, di ba? Uutangin mo yung asset. Tapos ibebenta mo siya. Why will you do that? Because of the belief that this asset will go down. The price of the asset will go down. So uutangin mo muna siya, tapos ibebenta mo, tapos yung proceeds ng benta mo, ilalagay mo dun sa isang asset. Tapos later on, ibebenta mo ulit yung assets mo, tapos bibili mo yung asset na hinaram mo at a lower price kasi you expected that the lower price would go down. Okay, so all right. So what do we have here now? Okay. So remember guys, ang ginawa natin dati, nag-full investment tayo, no? Type is equal to full investment. Tapos nagkaroon tayo ng error. Okay, that's why we relaxed it. Ginawa natin na type is equal to weight sum. And then in-identify natin yung minimum sum at saka maximum sum. Okay, so hindi na natin i-run yung full investment. Okay, so dito na lang tayo guys. Notice na yung port spec guys, it's like a receptacle. So dagdag lang tayo ng dagdag dyan. Kunyari, ito, port spec, add that constraint. So ang portfolio natin is equal to yung port spec 1. Then type natin is dapat ang sum ng mga weights should be between 0.99 and 1.01. So, sorry, 1 plus 1 and minus 1%, not 10%. Okay, then mag-a-add ulit tayo ng another constraint type long only, ibig sabihin yung weights dapat positive lang, hindi tayo maglalagay ng negative na weights, walang short selling. Okay, and then another constraint will be box. Ibig sabihin yung minimum weight 0, maximum weight 70. Ibig sabihin hindi tataas ng ng 70%. Although yung minimum that's 0, pwede nang kahit wala na yan kasi may long only na tayo dito, no? Long only means positive lang lahat ng weights. Okay, so parang redundant na tong mean is equal to 0.0. But anyway, let's do that. So let's now run yung port spec 1 natin. Tapos and when we look at port spec 1, okay, tinan ulit natin to. Ito, di ba, na-view ko na to eh. Port spec 1. Okay. Mamaya-maya pag nag-update to, mag-ano yung constraint, no? Okay, so hindi pa siya nag-update. But it should update. No? If I view again, view port spec 1. Kasi iba na yung port spec 1, nagdagdag na tayo ng mga constraints yan. View ulit natin. Okay. Constraints, hindi pa hindi pa siya nag-update. Okay, hintay-hintay lang natin. Pero dapat mag-update na yan, guys. No? Si constraints, dapat magkakaroon na dito ng ng arrow. Okay? Alright. So later, balikan natin yan. Tingnan natin kung ano na naman yan. Okay, so naglagay na tayo ng constraints. Ano yung constraints natin? Yung weights can be between 0.99 and 1.01. Hindi yung weights. Yung sum ng weights. No? Tapos yung weight natin, dapat positive lang lahat. Tapos maximum niya, 0.7. Okay? So not one asset should have more than 70%. And then after the constraint, pupunta tayo sa objective. Well, yung objective natin either minimizing risk or maximizing returns. Okay? So sa objective natin guys, okay, maglalagay tayo dito ng panibagong object. Okay? I'm creating this kasi gusto kong i-separate yung ano yung maximization ng returns kaysa dun sa minimization of risk. So I'm going to create an object called port main var. Ang laman niya yung port spec 1 lang. Okay? Actually, pwede natin gamitin ito si port spec pa rin, no? Si port spec pa rin, tapos madadagdagan din yan. Remember, si port spec 1 receptacle yan. Okay? Receptacle siya for yung asset names natin, yung constraint at saka yung objectives. Okay, hindi pa siya nag-update. Dapat nag-update na siya. Okay, so we're passing on yung object na port spec 1 to port min var. Okay, so dito mag-a-add tayo ng objective. Ang portfolio natin ngayon, yung port min var na type is equal to risk, name is equal to standard deviation. It means this is minimizing risk. Okay, so pag i-run natin to, let's run this. Okay, so meron tayong port min var. Okay, so tingnan nyo guys, nung pinasa natin kay port min var, ang nangyari na, yung assets natin, okay, andyan pa rin. No, yung constraints natin, tingnan nyo, meron na siya. Constraints, yan, no? Andito na yung weight sum constraint, andito na yung box constraint. Dalawa siya kasi merong minimum at saka yung may maximum. Okay? And objectives, meron na rin siya. Okay, list of 1. Okay. Ayaw na niya. Yung volume formula yung assets. Okay, so that's now our port min var. Okay, once we have the receptacle already for the constraints and the objectives, pwede na nating i-run yan dito sa optimize that portfolio. Okay, optimize that portfolio. Okay, so there are different ways to run this, no? One of the most common one is yung randomization. Okay, randomization. So, anong gagawin natin dito? We're going to use the set that seed para pare-pareho tayo ng values. Okay, so nag-create na naman tayo ng bagong object, min var optimization 1. Okay, the function is optimize that portfolio. Okay, yung assets natin coming from port 1, okay, R is equal to port 1. Dito kinukuha yung assets, yung Apple at saka Google. And then our portfolio is yung kanina, yung port min var 1, and then optimize method is equal to random. Now, there are different types of method. No? We will not go into that. Dito na tayo mag-ano sa random. Okay naman to. Okay, this is a very popular method and it gives good results naman. So let's run this. Yung min var optimization natin. Run. Okay, so si min var opt1, it's also a list, no? Let's just wait. And it's also important, guys, to run this kasi pag first time niyo lang na-meet yan, nakakalito, no? In fact, I advised a group, no? Yun ang topic nila, ito, portfolio optimization. So different modalities, different yan, nag-randomize kami, maraming ibang and we made use of R. So gamit talaga namin to nung nag-advise ako dun sa isang group, I think 2 or 3 terms ago, yun ang topic nila, no? Portfolio optimization. Okay, so while it's running, titignan natin kung ano yung laman ng min var na yan, no? Min var opt1. Okay, and then we're going to get ano yung weights na magbibigay sa atin ng minimum variance. Okay, ang tagal niya. Okay, while we're waiting for this one, guys, let me point to you habang hinihintay natin, ayan na pala, no? Okay, so for this one, okay, ano ba laman yung main bar up na yan? Let's run this. Okay, so it's also an object, no? So andito yung mga weights. Andiyan na actually yung answer, no? Yung weights ng W1, W2 natin. Si Apple, 0.32, si Google, 0.67. Okay, andito din yung objective measures. Okay, standard deviation, ito 0.016. Andito din yung optimized values. Okay, pareho lang dun sa ano, standard deviation. Call is the function, no? Yan, no? Our portfolio optimize. Okay, portfolio is, okay, you have different objects here. Kasama yung constraints, kasama yung objectives, and you have data summary. Okay, so iba-iba yung laman, ano? Iba-iba yung laman nitong object na to na min var opt1. So marami tayong information na makukuha dyan. Okay, so if we go to the names, ito yung mga laman niya, guys, yung mga pangalan, weights, okay, etc. So we're interested in, kunyari, ano ba yung laman ng data summary? Let's see, no? Min var, okay, opt1, $sign, data underscore summary. Run that. Okay, so ito yung mga returns, no? Returns ni Apple at saka ni Google, first and last. Yun yung data natin, no? Okay. So, isa na tayo. Bilisan natin kasi gusto kong umabot tayo sa ano, sa maximization at saka yung efficient frontier. Okay. So where are we now? Okay. So we can extract, no? Extract the weights ng min var 1. Okay. So you can use this extract weights or direct min var 1 opt and then weights. It will give us the same answer. So itong extract weights, saan galing yung function na yan? Extract weights. Let's seek the help function of R. Okay. Extract weights to, no? Or pwedeng to, no? Pwedeng ito. You subset or you get the this is the object, yung min var opt1 natin. Yan. So this is from TSM package, guys. Lagyan natin dito para time series models, TSM package, extract weights. All right, so extract this. Oops, it's not an exported object from, ay, bakit? Huh? Diba TSM kanina? Ay, sorry, mali pala. It's from yeah, it's from portfolio of analytics. My bad. So kung nakita yung TSM kanina, ay, alam ko nga portfolio analytics to. Okay, so just showing you that this came from portfolio analytics. Okay, so yeah, 32% Apple, 67% Google. So it's not the 50-50, no? The weight that will minimize risk is 32% Apple and 67% Google. However, guys, again, this is just the constant weight from beginning to end. Pwede natin i-rebalance to. Ano bang sinabi dito? Objective measures, let's see. Extract objective measures. Okay, so this is the standard deviation, no? 1.6. But this, guys, is daily to, no? Daily. If you want the Control C, if you want the annualized standard deviation, we multiply this by the square root of 252. Annualized to. Okay, so that's 25.63. Kanina yata, 32% yata. Or 20, ano ba yung kanina? Yung annualized table natin. We'll just compare, no? Where is that? Yung nag-rebalance tayo. And it's here. Okay. Yan. Standard deviation. Okay, yung non-rebalance 26%, 2677, ito rebalance 2623. So ito nagbabago yung mga weights, di ba? Ito hindi, no? Ito hindi. Pero parehong hindi optimized tong dalawang to, no? Both of them did not pass through optimization. When we let it pass through optimization, yung 32%, 67% generated a risk of 25.63%. Ito parehong 50, no? 50% na rebalance, no? Nagre-rebalance siya every monthly, no? Yung weight na babago. Okay, so balik tayo dito. Okay, I'm anxious to finish this portion. Okay, so dito naman guys, chart weights, okay? Okay, so again, from portfolio analytics yan, sabi dito, charts the optimal weights of a portfolio. Okay, so ginamit natin sa optimize at portfolio. Tingnan natin guys kung ano yung weights ng mean var opt1 bar plot. Okay, so dadalawa lang siya, 32% at saka 67%. Okay, and last time sabi natin, pwede natin baguhin yung color set. You can refer to yung color brewer. Okay, may code sila. So if you want a particular color, in fact sa internet makikita niyo yung we call it ang tawag dito, yung hindi naman template. It's like yung color mismo tapos ando dun kung ano yung number niya, yung reference, no? Okay, so let's run this and you get a better looking plot. So Apple, ito yung 32%, si Google 67%. It will give us the minimum risk of standardized annualized 25% something. Okay, so also we can so anong ginagawa natin dito? Okay, mean var, yung performance na tinitingnan natin, no, ng minimum variance. So tingnan natin yung return ng portfolio. R is equal to, ito yung object ng returns. Tapos ang weights na gagamitin natin, yung ipapa-extract natin sa mean var opt1, which is 32 and 67%. So let's see. Okay, okay lang na do not sum up. So ito yung returns, no? So we now have an object of the returns of the portfolio. Okay, of the daily returns using 32 and 67. Okay, 32 and 67% as compared to yung 50-50 kanina. Okay, so we can use the charts, that performance summary nung mean var perform 1 natin. Okay, I'll not do that anymore. Okay, tapos dito, ano ba yung nangyari dito? Sabi ko may optimized portfolio, port mean var 1, random, trace is equal to true. Okay, so pag trace is equal to true kasi, Control Enter. Okay, yung challenge dito guys, yung mga optimization, hindi kasi ang haba ng kino-compute na, no? So lalo yung ano natin, yung data natin from December 31, 2016 hanggang December 31, 2021. Let's just wait for this to run. So pareho pa rin, object natin, port 1 yung Apple at saka yung Google. Ang portfolio natin yung minimize natin yung yung variance. Okay, then optimize that method is equal to random Parang yung kanina, ang dagdag lang dito yung trace is equal to true. That was what was added here. Ano nga ako dito? Something wrong with my code. Let's see, baka waiting. It's taking some time. Taking some time. Okay, let's, while we're waiting for this to run, okay. Okay guys, ito, yung efficient frontier, no? Ito yung gusto natin ma-generate. Okay, taking some time. Okay, while we're waiting for that, guys, punta muna tayo sandali very quickly. Very quickly, let's go to okay. Bakit hindi ko lang dala? I-share ko na lang guys yung ano para hindi na tayo mag-aksaya ng oras. You know naman guys how to ano no? You know how to download stock prices from Yahoo Finance. Okay, so I will assume that you already know how to do that. Tapos mag-create lang tayo ng efficient frontier sa ano sa okay, sa Excel very quickly. Kahit 3 asset portfolio lang. Okay, let me see if I can download the prices so that we save on time. I think, okay, baka sa FMD fee na meron. Okay, let me see. And I'll just share this with you. Wala pa rin. Okay. Tapos ang susunod dito guys, yung ano, yung with rebalancing. And then you'll notice guys that yung with rebalancing, mas okay pa siya, no? So it will give us yung weights. Tapos may rolling window nga lang tayo dito, no? Yung training period, yung rolling window guys, this computes for the standard deviation based on a 60-day period. So kunyari, first 60 days, compute yung standard deviation, then the next yung bali kunyari day 1 up to day 60, standard deviation ko-computein, tapos day 2 up to day 61, ko-computein standard deviation. Yun ang rolling, no? Rolling window ng 60. And then i-compute niya, tapos i-minimize niya yung ano, i-minimize niya. Yan, okay. Nag-run na, let's see. Asa na siya? So main var opt. Okay, and then after that, let's run this, yung chart risk.reward. Yun, dito ako nag-error. Dito okay, no? Pagdating dito, optimize argument is missing with no default argument object. Okay, main var opt naman. Is missing. Okay. So, sorry guys ha. Maganda sana tong chart that risk reward eh. Kaso I have to check yung syntax ko. May missing daw eh. Argument object is missing. Kasi ito tinan nyo guys ha. Control C. Ito yung, again, lagyan ko nga ng notes. This part, I have to check this of the code. Returns. Wala pa itong chart.risk-reward. Yan. So, ito siya. So, ito yung syntax niya. Chart.risk-reward, may object tayo. Neighbors, return that column, call is equal to mean. Exponential smoothing to. Okay. So anyway guys, sige. Hindi ko pa na-decipher kung bakit ako nagkakamali dito. Alright, so punta muna ako dito. Very quickly lang guys. So ito na lang. Itong object na to guys, itong file na to, i-share ko with you. Nakakahabol pa kayo, class? Are you still there? Are you able to follow? Okay, question ko lang guys, marunong ba kayo gumawa ng ng efficient frontier sa Excel? Paki-chat nga please kung marunong kayo gumawa ng efficient frontier sa Excel. And then we're going to compare that with kasi dun sa take-home exam nyo, you're supposed to create an efficient frontier of your portfolio. Nagkahang talaga, guys. It's a problem with my computer. Not responding in chat. So habang hindi pa tapos naghang din tong ano ba yan? Hindi ko tuloy ma-access yung